friends, welcome to Code Crush Coding. In this video, we are going to write a code for a problem statement which says write a Java program that implements a simple number guessing game. So here, what we need to do, we need to identify the number which our program has already generated using a random method. So the program should randomly select a number between 1 and 100. So any number can be generated, okay? And then the player is prompted to guess the number. So you need to guess what number the program has generated. So after each guess, the program should provide feedback indicating whether the guess was too high, too low, or correct. So basically the program will generate a random number. Let's say it has generated 60 and then the player is prompted to guess the number. So if you guess, let's say 50, so 50 is less than 60, right? So it should provide us the output as too low. And if your guess was higher than the actual number, then it should print too high, and if it is equal to the number which the program had generated, then it should say correct, and the game will continue till the player guesses the correct answer. Once the correct answer is guessed, the program should display the number of attempts the player took to guess the number correctly. So this is the overall idea. Now we will try to implement this logic step by step. So here I have a class called number guessing game. You can provide any name of the class, and inside this class I have one main method. Now first step is to generate a random number. So how to generate a random number? So we need to make use of class random. So random class from java.util package. Then you need to provide the reference variable. Let's say random new random. So this is our reference variable of class random. And now with the help of this variable random dot, here you could see there are many inbuilt methods. So we need to make use of method called nextInt. So this will generate an integer value, and here you need to pass the upper limit. So if you don't pass any number here, let me show you what output you will get here. So if I say sysout and try to print this inside a println statement, let's run this code. So we are getting the random numbers, right? And there is no limit to it, but we want the limit to be between 1 and 100. So here you need to pass the upper limit. So if I pass here 101, so it will generate the numbers from 1 to 100. So let me run this code. So C69 is generated, 49, 19, 94. So every time the program will generate a new number. And I don't want to print it because we want to guess it, right? So this should be stored in some variable. Let's provide a variable here. This is number to guess, right? Because this is the number we want to guess. Number to guess. Now this is stored inside this variable number to guess. So every time the program will generate a random number and it will be stored inside this variable. So the program should randomly select number between 1 and 100. So this step we have achieved. Now we need to prompt the player to guess the number. Now let's do that. So here I will say scanner new scanner is basically to take the input from user, right? So here I need to say system.in, and let's say the variable name that we want to say is guess. So every time the number you try to guess will be stored inside this variable. Let's initially have it to 0, and also we need to count the number of attempts the player has taken to guess the number, right? So we will say here int attempt attempts equal to 0 initially. Now we need to prompt the user to guess the number until it has guessed the number correctly, right? So we need to make use of while loop. So I will say here while, we will say here guess is not equal to number to guess. So this loop will continue till our guess is not equal to the number which has program has generated, right? This is the while loop, and here we will ask the user sys out. We will say here enter your guess, and we will store that inside the variable guess. So initially it was 0, right? And then we will update it to the user input. So I will say here sc dot next int. So now we have accepted the value from the user, and once we have accepted the value, we will also try to increment the attempts variable. Okay, now this looks fine. Now we just need to compare with the number to guess, because if it is equal to, then we need to say it was correct. If it is lower, then we will say message as too low, and if the number guessed was greater than the actual number, then we will say too high. Now let's provide here if case. If guess is less than number to guess, then we will print the message out. Say too low. Else if we will say if guess is greater than number to guess, then in that case we will say too high. And if both this condition fails, it means the number is equal to the number to guess, right? The user has entered the guess which is equal to number to guess. So in that case we will say else say here congratulations, you have guessed it. Congratulations, you have guessed the number. Also need to print the number of attempts, so that we will print in some time. Let's try to run this code whether it's working fine or not. So what are the things we have done till now? So first thing is we want to generate a random number. So random number is generated within this range 0 to 100, and that is stored into number to guess. After that we are asking the user to enter his guess, right? And we will check that guess with the random number generated. If it is lower than the number to guess, then we will say too low. If it is greater than number to guess, then we will say too high. And if it is equal to the number to guess, it means you have guessed the number. Now let's try to run this code. So enter your guess. Let's say I entered here 56. So any random number can be generated, right? So I'm just guessing here 56. So what it says? It says too high. It means the number is less than 56. Again it says enter your guess, because we have continued the while loop till our guess is not equal to number to guess. Okay. Now we need to enter the number lower than 56. So what I will do, I will say 45. So it's again set too high. So the number is again less than 45, right? Let me say 35. Again it says too high. So it's lower than 35. Let me say 25. It's again set too high. So it is lower than 25. I will say 15. Again it says too high. Okay, the number is less than 15 now. Say 10. It's too high. Let me enter here 5. It's too low. Now the number is between 5 to 10, right? Because when we have entered 10, it says too high, and when we have entered 5, it says too low. So it should be between 5 to 10. Let me enter here 8. It says too low. So it means the number is 9, right? Congratulations, you have guessed the number. Now this is how you have identified the number. So we have guessed the number correctly. Also what we need to do, we need to print how many attempts the user has taken. So when the number, every time when we are asking for a new input, we are also incrementing the attempts variable. What we can do, we can print here a message saying congratulations, you have guessed the number, and we'll say here you took these many attempts. So here we will print the attempts variable, print your message attempts. Now let's run the code one more time. Instead of 100, let's say 50 because it will take time to guess, right? So we will just say a 51. So this time what it will do, it will generate the numbers from 1 to 50. Let's run the code. So enter your guess. So let's say I entered your 30. It says too high, so number is less than 30. So let me guess it saying 20. It again says too high. Let me enter 10. It says too high. Let me enter here 5. It says too low. 7. Too high. 6. Congratulations, you have guessed the number and you took 6 attempts, right? 6 attempts we have taken to identify the number here. Now let's run this code one more time. Enter your guess. Let's say 32. This is too high. 10. Too low. 20. Too high. 15. Too low. 18. Too low. 19. Yeah. Again, we have taken 6 attempts to guess this number. So the main thing here is we have achieved all the steps that we have discussed here. The program should randomly select a number between 1 and 100. The player is prompted to guess the number and all these messages, and the program should run till it guesses the correct number. This is the code for this particular problem statement. I hope you have understood it. The main thing here is using the while loop, using the random method, using the if else statements, and implementing this logic correctly. We will see another coding questions in next video. Thank you for watching.